And a good morning to you, Radioheads. Glad to have you along this morning. Thanks for joining in. The potty is hot already.
It is.
Upper 60s, muggy. We're talking mid-90s minimum the next couple of days. And Juju being the man that he is, that I'm nothing like, can drink coffee on a day like today.
Yeah, with long sleeves.
With long sleeves.
My classroom's 62 degrees.
That'll be all right.
And I'm going in, later this morning.
I can do that.
It's 62 degrees in my classroom, and then I don't exercise a lot or move around a lot. I'm behind a desk or something, so yeah, I got to have long sleeves and jeans on.
Okay.
Otherwise,
I'm
I'd
all
freeze.
right with that. Bob Duckworth, I don't know if you're out there. You may be able to answer this question because he's local, and he's of the age that he may remember this. Radiohead was a weird band. Good morning, Milton. Good morning, Richie. Bob, my question is, and we're completely off sports here. We'll get to that, but Juju and I were just chatting. Do you remember the day when 95.7 was WXRC? Mm-hmm. There used to be a morning guy. They played country. This would have been back in the late 60s, early 70s. They played country, and they had a morning DJ. His name was Don Honeycutt. Came on at 5 o'clock in the morning. My mom and dad listened every morning. We had one of those
console
radios, AM, FM, nice wood cabinet that sat in the kitchen, and that was the entertainment. Now we had TV too. I'm not that old, but that was in the kitchen, and they would listen to Crazy Don Honeycutt.
Okay,
every morning. And we were talking about where that studio used to be. I was thinking it was right there on the corner of what is the street that turns into Tate Boulevard and 127. I think it's a accounting office or something now, but I think that was a radio station at one time. Juju thought it was, what'd you call it, Channel 1?
Channel 1 Country.
Channel 1 Country, 1000 AM, and I don't remember that one. But we're kind of going down the radio memory row here this morning, so I'll just throw that out there.
Since your dream came true with purchasing WLON.
Complete with debt. That's the best part about it.
Oh, well.
I thought you didn't go in debt to retire, but I guess I was wrong. But that's okay.
It's an investment, right?
Investment. Mm-hmm. That's correct. Go ahead. You said dream?
Yeah. I mean, you've always wanted to own a radio station.
I have.
So, yeah. Congratulations on that.
I was part owner, I still part owner in HRN, and I was a partner in ESPN 730, and then Marty took care of that. We're just not as close as we used to be.
Yeah.
I guess that's
what I would always have one of my I would call it a dream, but I always wanted to go to work for KDKA in Pittsburgh. It is the flagship station for a number of years, one of the first radio stations in the country. I had a summer internship there when I was in college. Went back up home, and I had a summer internship there for 6 weeks, and it was just fat. But I had to drive into Pittsburgh every other day. And that was about a 45-minute drive, which I didn't mind back then, but I did only for 6 weeks. And, all these people you hear, like you were talking about, all these people you hear growing up when you're a little kid, you gather around the radio and you listen to these people, and all the games are on KDKA, the Pirates, and they had the Steelers on, but especially the Pirates. So you got to, bump into and see these famous people. And I always said, if I ever had a chance to go back, I would love to work at that radio station, let alone
here's
own it.
What Bob said. Bob said WSPF was known as Channel 1.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
WSPF.
Okay. I'll have to do a little more digging, and Juju was wondering where that went. It went dark. It could have moved. I mean, you never know about those things. But we'll run that down. That was just one of them things, one of those rabbits I was chasing this morning.
Yeah, I mean, if radio station goes dark, which means they go off
turn
the air,
licensing.
Yes. How do you get it back, or can you get it back?
Now, there hasn't been a new application period for a radio station license on the AM side in a bazillion years because there's no space. And what was funny, when we sold the building in Lincoln, the old WLON building, we had people that honestly thought they were buying the radio station. No, but it's right there. No, it don't work that way.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work that way. And a lot of people thought, well, if I put up a tower, I can have a radio station. No, that don't work either. Rich said, I don't remember that, but I do remember 96.1, the Golden Oldies. Dad loved that. That is the sister station of ESPN 730.
Okay.
That was WXIK and Andy Foster.
Okay, I remember that. Yes.
That was the Shelby
Station.
AM/FM. 102.9. I cannot remember the AM sister station. That was in Gastonia, and it used to be right there in front of Eastridge Mall.
Okay.
And the tower, the AM tower was right there, too.
And then in Hickory, the FM station for WHKY was 102.5.
Mm-hmm.
And they sold it off, and they moved to Charlotte.
Everybody moves to Charlotte. Isn't that special how they moved to Charlotte? All right, let me give you some sports. Caldwell Tech Cobras were defeated last night by St. Cloud, the number 8 seed. Final score was 4-0.
No, they won. They beat St. Cloud. They ended up losing to a team from Texas.
I got the wrong printout. I could have sworn I had the right printout, but I didn't. I had the day before's printout. They
won an earlier game.
There it is.
Texas.
They cheated me. They gave me 2 announcements here. Dallas College Eastfield.
Yes.
Is who defeated them 11-1. Mm-hmm. And that was just a 6-inning game. Once they got the 10-run out there, and Dallas College was a number 5 seed. But still quite the accomplishment for Caldwell Tech. You're still finishing up number 3 in the nation.
Yeah, number 3.
In the National JUCO Division III. So that's a very positive thing. Morning, Sissy. Good morning, Stephen. Milton said that was WLTC in Gastonia back in the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I briefly just texted Frank Pate, the coach for Caldwell Tech, back and forth a little bit last night before I went to bed, and he said he had a great run, hated his season, had to come to an end. But, you're right. They won they were ranked number 1 in the country, won 25, 26 games in a row at one point. Just a fantastic season. They have a lot of guys from this area, from either Lincoln County, Catawba County, also Burke County, I believe. And they have some players from around here, and Frank's done a great job and his staff of recruiting people. And I thought it interesting, Lanny, last week when we had him on the show, he hinted at the fact that there might be some other community colleges in the area that may be expanding. He mentioned Wilkes Community College, and he is a Wilkes County native, he and his wife.
So you wonder.
You wonder. He started up programs before.
And he loves startup programs. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. Okay, because I can't quit, I'll go back. I'm going to change gears again. SPF was a AM 1000 licensed to Hickory, known as Channel 1 Radio, had a 5,000 daytimer only signal. Transmitter was on Tate Boulevard and the studios at 2nd Avenue Southeast and 127. So that's where Channel 1 was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Tate Boulevard, that must be over.
Not until you get to Lenore Ryan, I think, is when it changes.
Yes.
It goes, if you or anyone listening can figure out and explain the madness of street names in Hickory, North Carolina, when I've got an extra month, we'll sit down and talk about it. And I know there's method to the madness, and I know they did places and avenues and streets and southwestes and northwestes and all that kind of stuff, but for somebody from around here, it is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden streets just change.
Their circle, their drive, there's so many different ways. But you're right. As you go away, going towards the hospital, the old Catawba Memorial Hospital, on your right there are some towers, and I think that's where a couple of radio station towers are at, and that must have been where Channel 1 was at way back in the day.
Now, in the mornings on Channel 1, sorry I got to do a little radio history, was DJ Gary Mountain Man McMahon. He raised funds to rescue a 4-year-old Barney the buffalo that weighed 1,600 pounds. Barney had escaped from Franklin, North Carolina, attacked a car, was purchased for $1 by E.B. Harris, who vowed to slaughter the animal unless somebody raised money to take care of him. He became the show's mascot and vowed to raise $1,000, and he met the goal. And Newton musician Buddy Rhodes wrote a song called The Ballad of Barney the Buffalo and recorded it with his band, Hard Times, on WSPF. There was a store in the mall that did T-shirts, said Bucks for Barney, and bartenders at one location were asking customers for money. They raised $1,600. $1,135.13 went to the man that owned him. The rest went to charity. And A.B. Cook's Buffalo Ranch, a 71-acre park in Cabarrus County, took Barney. In 1986, Cook sold the ranch, but WSPF operations manager Scott Connolly said a Catawba farmer agreed to take Barney if necessary. It signed off the air in 1987.
Okay.
Okay.
I knew it was in the 80s.
It was owned by Willis Deal, owned it, Piedmont Broadcasting, for its entire history. He retired at 68, sold the station's equipment and property, but not the license, for $450,000 to Westcom Limited, the owners of WIRC and WXRC.
All right.
Okay, so there's
we were both right.
There's
both
Honeycutt. Yeah. DJ Scott Conley, who had been part of WSPF for 18 years, moved to WXGX in Lenoir.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's you some history of SPF, but it doesn't say anything about it ever being a part of an FM, which is kind of interesting. Let me see here. God, I got all kinds of things powering in here this morning.
And I believe that one of the famous broadcasters got their start at Channel 1 was, I can't think of his last name now, but he was a longtime ACC broadcaster. Went to LR. Mike
Patrick?
No.
Mike Patrick.
No, Michael. He did pregame, postgame a lot of times for the ACC network, or back at that time, C.D. Chesley and Jefferson Pilot.
Jefferson Pilot, yep.
He was a sportscaster in Greensboro.
Somebody will come up with that.
Sportscaster in Michael. Oh, God.
Hoggood.
Yeah, Mike
Hoggood.
Hogwood. Mm-hmm. I went to college with his brother, but anyway, Mike Hogwood got his start.
Great guy
at big Channel 1. Mm-hmm. And then went on and and all the way to the ACC.
Milton said they were a gospel channel owned by Miss Tilly Lowry, WLTC, and she had the Miss Tilly show. I remember that one. Mark said, Pop always listened to WSB 750 out of Atlanta, Braves games, and talk show guy named Ludlow Porch.
Yeah, Ludlow. I remember that name.
The radio he listened to it on, and when he was outside, was hung up in his greenhouse and attached to his shed. After Pop passed, we left the radio on to honor him. The old radio finally stopped working last year after 40 years of faithful service. And you could get that on the skip at night. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because everything else was set down. Lindsay said, I had to warn my coworkers who had driven in from other parts of the state about GPS not always being accurate. Yeah, if you come to Hickory, take that with a grain of salt, because it doesn't always work.
Yeah.
Andrew said, all based on the railroad tracks. Bob said, and all those roads have several names that may or not change, like the stairways at Hogwarts and Harry Potter.
2nd Street Northwest, 2nd Street Circle, 2nd Street Drive, 2nd Street Place. Yeah.
Bob said you need to read the addresses from right to left in Hickory, much like a menu. I can explain it in 5 minutes to anyone with common sense. Well, Bob, I'm out. If that's what it's going to take, I'll go ahead and tell you I'm out. The skip, Mark said the skip. Folks today have no idea what you're talking about. It's why AM stations like WLON have to power down at night so it clears the airways. AM radio, FM is line of sight, okay? If it can see the signal, it can pick it up. That's why as you go around the contours of the earth, you go into the mountains, you lose FM. AM bounces off the ground because there's a ground system and the atmosphere. So at night, the atmosphere dissipates to some extent, gets larger because you lose the heat, and it causes stations to skip. That's why ham operators can talk, to Europe and different places. Okay, so I've educated you on radio.
Yeah, that's how you used to hear KDKA down here in the South, and they're up in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
You'd hear them loud and clear.
I'm going to take a break. We come back. Mike Waddell will join us from Campbell University, correct?
Yeah, long-time college sports administrator.
And we'll be back with more here in just a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com.
Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call 4 Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
And welcome back. We're working on getting connected with Mike Waddell. As soon as we can make that happen. So I'll keep my eye out on the phone over here. I didn't put my flash ring because I've got to redo my phone box. My phone box isn't working.
And Mike's got an interesting story. Grew up in Newton and played collegiate sports at Guilford. He's been a play-by-play guy.
How old is he?
I'd say probably mid-50s.
Okay.
Yeah,
We had a
early
kid
to mid-50s.
We had a kid that I coached at West Lincoln. He would be early 40s that played at Guilford. Pretty good linebacker.
Okay.
Man, that's why.
And maybe Mike knows him. But Mike's broadcast for the Tar Heel Sports Network. He's been with Appalachian State. He was the play-by-play guy for them for a while. Knows Jerry Moore quite well. He was at Army. And then in athletic administration, he has been all over the place in terms of SEC, ACC. He was the athletic director at Townsend State up in Maryland. Now he's an assistant AD at Campbell. Before that, he worked in NASCAR for Richmond International Speedway. He was the general manager for the Orlando team. Lanny for the old, what is that called, AAF. He was the general manager and helped hire Steve Spurrier as the head coach. Yeah, as the football coach there for a while. So Mike is back in North Carolina. We touched base with him last week, reached out to him a little bit yesterday, and he's agreed to join us this morning, and we're waiting on his phone call. But, yeah, it's interesting. And you wanted to mention the other topic we were going to talk about was the Steelers, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll get into that as well. But as you look at it, interesting with baseball going on. The end you guys talked about yesterday with for the NCAA tournament, some teams got left out. There's some openings now with some of these colleges and universities. What's going to happen, just like in football where you see the coaches and the trickle-down effect, what will happen now with Clemson opening, with
we talked about that he was probably going to get fired.
Yeah. And so
I don't know, was he an inside hire?
I don't know.
Inside the family? Because I don't know.
No, well, I don't think so. Jack Leggett was a longtime coach there at Clemson, and I think either retired or he got pushed out at the time, and so now that they did not have the success that they had with Leggett. So will they go for a national search? Will they? And I'm sure
seems to think they will. Why wouldn't you go with a national search and go with someone from a smaller type program? I mean, I don't know who the coach is at Coastal, but like that could be a possible person. I don't know how baseball works.
Do they jump straight up, or do they go sideways? Do you go after an assistant coach at a?
I have no idea. Lindsey, Brad Smith is the kid that I'm thinking of, and I know he's older than you, and I just can't remember how old. That's a long time ago, and that's a lot of kids ago. So I kind of lose track, but it was Brad Smith is who I'm thinking about that played at Guilford. Had a pretty good little career at Guilford. Jeff Cochran went to Catawba back in that same almost time frame. But Milton said Miss Tilly helped pay for the Pilgrims' first album. That was his dad's gospel quartet. And Mike Devine's dad, Joe, was a member of the Pilgrims Quartet as well. They were based out of Lincoln, Southern Gospel Quartet. Just kind of tie some things together. All right, let me go Steelers while we're waiting for Mike. I am a Steeler fan. Diehard. I've made this statement many times. I've only pulled for 3 teams in 62 years. The Baltimore Colts, the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I am still a fan and actively support, and the Panthers because they're local. Okay, that's 3 teams. However, we talk about this all the time, and I can't remember who started the little thread that we had yesterday, but, boy, I lit some folks up. They got all excited with me because I didn't want to how do I put it? I didn't want to drink the Kool-Aid on this one. The Steelers are a very well-run, well-established, non-dysfunctional, for lack of a better word, team. And but yet they haven't accomplished as much as I think they should have based on who that who that franchise is as far as Super Bowls. They have won 6. And I think as far as from a money standpoint, notoriety, there's not a more dysfunctional team than the Dallas Cowboys that have not accomplished what they should have accomplished based on resources and support and all those kind of things. So I wasn't exactly comparing the two, and I wasn't really ditching the Steelers. But what I was saying was the last title for the Steelers, for in the last 42 years, and 4 kind of called me out on it because it goes back to 1980. But the Cowboys and the Steelers from a Super Bowl winning side are about the same. And I expect more from the Steelers because they're not run as dysfunctional as the Cowboys. That's the point that I was making. So the Cowboys, what they have done –
or not done.
Either way you want to look at it. And I want to say the last Super Bowl the Cowboys won was against the Steelers.
It was, 1996.
Okay. So the Cowboys won in 96, 94, 93. Okay, and then their other 2 came in 72 and 78. And then when you look at the Steelers, and specifically, I'm not against Mike Tomlin. I'm just not his biggest fan because I think he should have accomplished more.
74, 75, 79, 80. And then 2005.
So after 80, after 80 is when is the they've won some since then. They've won 3. The Cowboys have won 2 since 1980. Correct? Isn't
No,
that right?
Cowboys have won 3. They
Since
won 3.
19
Yes, since 19. They won 3. They won 2 in 92 and 93, and then again with
96.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Steelers have won 2 since 1980?
No, 3.
3. So they've won 3 since 1980.
Yeah.
Okay. What I was trying to get to was the Steelers, I feel like, should have accomplished more. The Steelers are a franchise because they're not dysfunctional. They don't make knee-jerk reactions. They are very slow to make change. They kind of let change make itself instead of forcing a hand, especially when it comes to coaches, GMs, quarterbacks. You know, in my opinion, I think they should have made a move on Ben a couple of years ago. I think they kind of waited too long. But that's not who they are, and that's not what they do. So, yeah, they've won 6 Super Bowls, but that dysfunctional bunch down in the big state of Texas have won 5, and they don't even know what they're doing.
Oh, they haven't won one. They haven't even played for a championship in 25, 26 years.
And that goes back to my comment that I've made before. Are you okay with now it would be 12-5? Are you okay 12-5, a playoff win, an occasional AFC trip, championship trip, maybe a Super Bowl trip? Is that okay in the last 40 years, 20 years, whatever?
Well,
Or do you expect more?
No, you expect more, and I think it's that the expectation is to play for a Super Bowl. If you look at franchises that, and I think pro football has changed quite a bit since all the rule changes, and you got to almost go to, I don't know, the last 25 years maybe, really modern football where the running game is not as important, and it's become more of a passing game, 7-on-7 type thing. In the last 20, 25 years, that's probably it. The Cowboys have won 3 playoff games in the last 25, 26 years. The Steelers have won numerous playoff games and have been to conference championship games and to 2 Super Bowls over the last 20-some years. So I think the measuring point is winning seasons, Super Bowl championships, conference championships, division championships, winning record. Those are the 4 benchmarks. And I think they're doing it. They would like to get back to And they're competitive each and every year within their division.
But is that enough?
Yeah, I think so right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Milton says Jerry Jones puts fun in dysfunctional. He puts the fun in dysfunctional. I like that, Milton. I'll try to remember that.
I just simply believe as long as Jerry is running the show, the Cowboys will never get back to where they were when Jimmy Johnson was the head coach.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. And I don't know that that's going to change.
No.
I mean, and I don't know what it is that changes it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just not sure. I keep coming up with. I keep pulling this. Oh, that's team stats. You can look at any stats that you want, but I'm trying to figure out. There's a lot of teams that since 1980, and that would be what year did Noel retire?
1991, I believe.
Okay.
Or 1990, something like that.
Okay.
91, 92. Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out, what is enough, because you've got Redskins have won 3 in that time frame.
Yeah.
There's some other franchises. I guess as a Steeler fan, I'm expecting more. I want more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it doesn't happen.
And they have underperformed. They did in 2016 or 2017. They had really good teams. They competed and made it to the AFC Championship game, only that they were ousted by New England. And the Patriots, and remove New England from the equation, and you can't. But in a perfect world, you remove them, then the Steelers are probably the second best team in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
And over the last couple of years, when Ben went down in terms of his performance, I think the Steelers tried to build up all other areas of the team, and they just simply, they were not as competitive as when Ben was at his very best.
I think this looks like this is accurate. Championship history, NFL all-time franchise rankings. Patriots at 6 and have lost 5.
Talk about Super Bowls.
Super Bowls, yeah.
I thought they won 7. No, maybe. Okay, 6. They're tied with
Tommy's won 7.
Yeah, okay, that's what it is. Yeah.
Just not with the Patriots.
So, yeah.
Steelers have won 6, and they've lost 2.
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys have won 5, lost 3. So the Steelers and the Cowboys
been to the most Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm. And they're, again, one of the most dysfunctional. 49ers have won 5, the Broncos 3, the Raiders 3, the Packers 4, the Redskins 3, Dolphins 2, Colts 2, Rams 1, Chiefs 2, Eagles 1, Ravens 2, Bucks 2. Seattle 1, Chicago 1, Jets 1. And that's another one that when you think about it, Saints 1. When you think about it, are you not kind of amazed at the Bears and who the Bears are, that they've only won 1?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just another one.
And they were good for a number of years there in the 80s, and it was just a shocker that they did not get back even to a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
As good as they were with that team in 85.
They're 1-1. They won 1 and lost 1.
Yeah.
So I just –
and look how many teams have never even been to a Super Bowl yet.
Vikings, Bills – well, I'm sorry, no wins. Vikings, the Bills, Titans, Panthers, Falcons, Chargers – they cost me $100. Bengals, Browns, Cardinals, Jags, Lions, and Texans.
Okay, so Texans, Browns –
Lions, Jags,
Lions,
Cardinals,
Jags.
Mm-hmm.
Now those last 4
never been. Texans, Lions, Jags, Browns have never been. Now the other unusual stat is the Bucks, the Jets, the Saints have never lost a Super Bowl.
They've only been 1 or 2.
They've only been 1. Mm-hmm. Well, the Bucks have been to 2. Ravens have never lost a Super Bowl. They've been to 2. And the Giants and the Redskins, both with 4 wins, have only lost 1 each.
Okay.
But I guess
Redskins lost to the Raiders. Giants lost to the Ravens, I believe.
But the two of the Giants' wins came against
the Patriots
and Tommy. Yeah. I guess what I'm saying is I just expect more. Milt says poor old Buffalo lost 4 in a row. Richie said, oh, no, them boys are always winning everything. Just ask the fans. I know. Richie said, Jerry goes away. That's the only way that happened. Same thing in Washington. And that is correct. Good morning, Arturo. Good morning. Glad to have you with us this morning.
Do you see where the Commanders announced they're going to build a new stadium? And it's going to be the smallest stadium in the NFL, 55,000.
I have not seen that, and that's all they need. Yeah. But it'll have plenty of luxury stuff.
Maybe, yeah. It's in Virginia.
This one's in Maryland now?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I had not seen that or heard that.
If completed as is, it would be the smallest stadium in the NFL. And right now, I believe the one that they're playing at was supposed to be the largest.
FedEx Field.
Yeah, FedEx Field, 91,000.
What was it before that?
Before FedEx Field, RFK.
RFK, yeah.
That place, I was there a few times.
Yeah.
And that place would shake, especially if you were on the lower level.
Yeah.
It would shake when either John Riggins or Theismann or somebody did something great.
Yeah.
It was amazing. That place was one amazing place to watch a football game.
I can see that. Let me take a break. We'll be back with more.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com.
Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
And we're back. I got way too many hands going on here this morning. We got a little equipment problem here, and I got a new piece of equipment coming in, but we're making this one work. We'll go to phone lines and bring on Mike Waddell. Mike, good morning to you.
How are we today?
We're doing great. How's things down in eastern North Carolina?
I'll tell you one thing. It's the farthest east in the Old North State I've ever lived, and it's going great. We have an airport right around the corner from my house that has a grass runway. So I'm thinking I might be able to get a nonstop flight to Bannock if I can, get in there and make some contacts. But I'm excited to be back in North Carolina for the first time. And golly, guys, about 22 years. So it's good to be back home.
I'm not sure if the Bannock Airport's open today. might be snowed in. might be snowed in.
Hey, Mike, good morning. It's Juju. I appreciate you joining us this morning. What drew you back to Campbell University? You've been around. You've done a lot of different things. What made you come back?
I tell you, it was just dumb luck. I worked 28 years in college athletics. Last two stops were in the Power Five at Arkansas and Illinois. Really enjoyed working in college sports, but at that level, it just wasn't really what drew me in. And watching what Power Five sports had become, I needed a change. And about 2016, I got a chance to go work in NASCAR. Did that for a couple of years, and I really enjoyed that, working with Martinsville and Darlington and Richmond, based at Richmond Raceway. And then I had a chance. I'm kind of like the Forrest Gump of sports. You know, it started all with you and Rick Strunk and Dave Lingefeld back in the day at NNC. I mean, just being around really cool people, and had a chance to run a pro football team in Orlando with Steve Spurrier. Now, who passes that up?
That's right.
I just didn't expect for the league to go belly up after 9 months. And, that kind of set us on a little, adventure that ended in running a pro ice hockey team, of all things, in Dallas for the last 2 years. But then I had a chance to get back to North Carolina. My wife's family is based in Greensboro, and they're in their 80s, wanted to get back home, and this opportunity popped up. And to be able to work with the Camels, I mean, who's going to pass that up? I mean, Steve Spurrier and the Camels, those are two no-can-do pass-up opportunities. So really excited to be here, and excited about our baseball team winning another conference championship and making it to the regionals this weekend in Knoxville, when we'll go in as the number 3 seed.
I only have one question. What's larger, Bannock or Bowie's Creek?
Well, Bowie's Creek is a suburb of Lillington.
Okay.
So once you get down the math geography, but Angier, these are all – the thing about the eastern part of the state is, man, western part of the state, it's really easy. Meat Camp, Bannock, Longview. It's really easy to pronounce the names. Down here, you just never know what you're going to get. So it's been an exercise in linguistics since rolling back into the Old North State here.
How, when you look at the baseball team, I got a chance to watch a little bit of the games over the weekend. I guess they were at High Point. Were you surprised that they were put in that regional? I thought maybe they'd wind up at in Chapel Hill or maybe at East Carolina.
Well, but I tell you, it was kind of a jolt when you turn on the selection show and you're preparing yourself mentally to wait. You're just waiting for that name to pop up. And then when you're the third one to pop up and you're in the top team's regional, you just look at it as an opportunity. We have to go in there on Friday and play Georgia Tech. And then, it's a matter of this time of year, who gets hot, who doesn't. We did not start off well at the Big South Conference tournament after going 18-3 in the regular season. Runaway best team in the league, but had our stumped our toe a little bit. First game out against Charleston Southern, but came back strong, and so that gave our guys a lot of confidence. Winning 4 straight, coming from behind, using Charlie Holstaff in the last game from the mound. So pretty excited to go in there and face off against. Hey, that's what you want the opportunity to do, is go in and play the best. And Georgia Tech on the first game, and then hopefully we get Tennessee in the second one, and then you just let the chips fall. But Justin Hare's done a great job here as our head coach. This program is really special, and we played at Carolina. We played at East Carolina. East Carolina came here. We played a lot of the big teams this year, so to go outside of the region a little bit, not too bad. And again, a great opportunity for the Camels to go in and show whose orange is better. We think it's Camel orange, not Volunteer orange.
Mike, I'm going to jump around a little bit. Give us a story about Steve Spurrier, what kind of guy he is, and what was the experience like working with him when you did a couple of years ago?
Okay, so I'm a born and bred Tar Heel fan. So
we won't hold it against you.
I hold grudges, and I got to tell you, even as a Carolina fan, even when I was playing football at Guilford, I would go back to Carolina and watch games. And I remember going back to the 1989 Duke-Carolina game and watching Duke beat the boondoggle out of the Tar Heels and Mac Brown, but then taking a picture under the scoreboard. And I always got this nasty feeling about Steve Spurrier. Boy, he's not a good guy. He's a trash talker and all this. But guys, let me tell you, I've been blessed. I'm truly the Forrest Gump of sports. I've been a chance to work with some really great people. I don't know if I've ever worked with somebody that I respect or truly, and I mean this, I love Steve Spurrier, the way I love Don Patrick, the way I love Bobby Rowell. I get emotional talking about these guys because they're true coaches. They care about the people that they coach more than coaching the game. But the best thing I can tell you about Steve is, the guy has ball coaches, led a life, and he's getting up there in years. But when he got out of a bus at our first practice with the Orlando Apollos, and we're at some little dumpy high school because we're a startup league and didn't have this money, but we have our very first practice, and he gets off the stiff and has arthritis in his back, but when he crossed onto that Bermuda grass, it was like he was brand new. It was kind of like Moonlight Graham in Field of Dreams when he crosses over the gravel and goes in, he's new again. And that guy truly coaches. He's not a CEO. Okay, he's not going to sit up in the tower and direct everybody around. He gets down there and coaches. And I watched him with Garrett Gilbert, with Kevin Anderson, with our quarterbacks across the board, and watched how he really mentored them and made them into a team cohesive. We went 7-1. We had a lot of things going against our team specifically because of some other issues that will just bore everybody to tears. But that guy is a ball coach, and that is rare today because I can tell you, the coaches that I worked with at various places along the way, only Jerry Moore at Appalachian State has that type of rapport with his players, and just I can't tell you enough about Steve Spurrier. I would walk into fire for he and his wife Jerry, who is a spectacular human being in her own right.
Mike, when you talk about that, it's a different breed of coaches. It's not long-term longevity of coaches and commitments to teams and players. It's about the next opportunity. So when you talk about a Mac Brown or a Jerry Moore, once they kind of get ingrained, I don't really know what happened with Mac at Texas. I thought he would have stayed there longer and retired, but I think Texas got a little more restless than Mac did. But you're exactly right. It's hard to find those coaches, but the other side of it, the kids and the players have changed too. It's not like it was when you grew up and when I grew up. That same commitment that was there is not there now.
It's different, but I got to tell you guys, I wouldn't want to grow up I wouldn't want to grow up in today's society. I wouldn't want to be a college athlete and be around where everything. I mean, heck, I grew up in Newton Conover in the late 70s and the 80s, and that was back when you could still dial 464, 4041, hang up the thing, and then have a prank phone call going over to Dave at WNNC or something like that. You can't do that now. You'll wind up on the America's Most Wanted if you do a prank phone call. I mean, I got to tell you, I love the kids now. In 33 years of working in sports, I can think of maybe one athlete that I've been around that I wouldn't want to spend time with. I mean, if you just understand these kids and take the time, and that's the ageless thing about a Mac Brown or a Jerry Moore or Steve Spurrier. They take the time to listen more than they talk, and they really do. And Mac will tell you that at Texas, he became more of a CEO than a ball coach. Now, I wouldn't say he's exactly a ball coach now, but I think he got back to doing what made him happy. And he had the support of Sally, his wife, and look what he's doing down there in Chapel Hill right now. I mean, it's really a lot of fun to watch. But I got to throw in a little word for another guy. There's a young coach right now in this state that is an extra special coach, and he's doing really awesome work. And he's probably going to get the best of Matt Brown early this season. I'm talking about Sean Clark up at Appalachian State.
Yeah.
Now, two people I got from my time at Appalachian that I mean, they're like little brothers to me, and that's Matt McMahon, who played for Buzz Peterson up at App, and Sean Clark, who played for Coach Moore. Those two guys are as good as the day is long. And Appalachian State, they haven't made too many mistakes over the last 2 decades, but not hiring 2 times. Matt McMahon, passing him over for Jason Capel, and I forget the last joker they had in there that they passed him off, a former assistant at Davidson. Just brutal mistakes by the management. You make mistakes, but Matt McMahon is going to do some great things at LSU, and I mean, just a great guy. I mean, I trusted my own son to go to Murray State, and he was Matt's head manager for 3 years. And I know he made a difference in my son's life, but then again, he knew him since the 3rd day he was born. I made the mistake of bringing the App State basketball team to my house in Boone to watch SummerSlam 3 days after my child was born. I didn't understand why my wife really didn't appreciate 17 people in the next room, but we had a good time, and just great people all around in the coaching ranks. They can be young or they can be old.
Hey, Mike, how can Campbell compete at the football level? You're in the FCS, Big South Conference. How does that work compared to some of the bigger places that you've been before? Is it easier or harder to compete?
Well, I think the FCS level is getting more and more difficult. Our head coach, former Carolina Panther, Nebraska Cornhusker, coming into his, 11th year here, but had the #1 recruiting class in FCS. You've got to get out. You've got to recruit. You got to recruit. You got to recruit. And using the portal right now is how Mike is doing it. The #1 recruiting class, Campbell. The #2, Jackson State. We'll play this year down in Jackson for the JSU homecoming, and they'll come to North Carolina here in a couple of years. And we're putting together something really special for that return with Dion and Mike get to go head-to-head. But I tell you what to look for, though, and this is going to be one of the interesting changes on the horizon with intercollegiate athletics, is if the scholarship minimums are taken away, and or the maximums. If they become minimums instead of maximums, that's going to really hurt small schools like Campbell, and it's going to force. I mean, like baseball. Right now, you get a little over 11 full scholarships to spread over an entire baseball team. If all of a sudden North Carolina or Tennessee or Georgia or Clemson can go out and put 36 scholarships out there because people just want to be at Clemson, or now you can scholarship the whole roster, the trickle down is going to be the thinning out of the rosters. And I think that's going to be that could be the biggest tectonic shift in college athletics really ever. And that's on the horizon right now as the Power Fives, where truly, guys, money is more important than the kids. And that's a harsh statement, but it's true. I mean, they're looking for the money for TV. They schedule around TV. Everything is about TV, not so much about the kids. And that's where places like Campbell, Elon, UNC Wilmington, and let's give credit. I don't know if there's a better Division II program right now in America than what Kim Pate has put together at Lenoir-Rhyne. Kudos to her. That baseball program is off the hook. I mean, looking through Juju's feed mainly at what's going on with Lenoir-Rhyne, I mean, I want to get back this year to see a game between the bricks where I was robbed as a college athlete in my first ever game, Guilford losing to Lenoir-Rhyne. Still a little bit bitter about that 1988 game, but kudos to the Bears and everything that's going on there. That's a magnificent program. Do
you see the Big South ever expanding, and would they dip into the Division II ranks to expand?
I don't know. I've honestly, this is my 5th week on the job here at the Creek, so I hear a lot of things about expansion and going, but it's kind of like jobs with conferences. If you're happy about where you are, and your athletes are having a great experience and you're winning, is it really that important to move up? I think a lot of people get caught up into that, but I don't know. A wise person once told me, don't mess with happy. And, this year, Campbell has won 13 conference championships. Now, let that sink in for a second. Between regular season and postseason, we've won 13 conference championships. But the one place that really achieving right now and where is a real focus for us is men's and women's basketball, because for a school like us, the financial rewards that come from making one single appearance in the NCAA tournament has residual effect for 6 years. Mm-hmm. You get a paycheck for 6 different years. So while you want to be good at everything, you better be good at that. We've not been to the men's tournament since 1993, when a guy named Billy Lee caught the heart of people around North Carolina. I mean, he was like the folk hero, like a mini Jimmy V. And we need to get back to that. So that's one thing that we're really kind of hyper-focused on. But, Big South, everybody's looking to get better. What is better? It's different at this level than it was when I was in the Big East with Cincinnati. And we had Brian Kelly and had gone to an Orange Bowl and a Sugar Bowl back-to-back. We all thought, hey, boom, 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 beating our chest. We ought to be somewhere bigger. But then it comes down to, what do you really add? And at Cincinnati, we didn't add a whole lot to anybody, because we didn't have a TV market, because if push came to shove, people were going to watch the Buckeyes over the Bearcats. So you're not bringing TV, and you're just diluting the money pool. And only now that the Big 12 was rated by the SEC, and in my opinion, not a real smart move by Texas or Oklahoma. Because, guys, I went from the SEC to the Big Ten. It was like I was going from the color to the black and white version of the Wizard of Oz.
Wow.
I mean, it was just that different. There is nothing like the SEC. All apologies to ACC fans. It's double A compared to the major leagues, and everything across the board. There's just nothing like the fan focus, the pressure on those coaches. I mean, it's just a different world. And in the Big South, it's not that dominant. So you have to really make sure that you're having the right academic fit, the right athletic fit, and the right geography. Because for us, we got to watch travel costs. When I was the AD at Towson University in Baltimore, I handed out our Southwest flight maps because Baltimore was a hub for Southwest. And I told my coaches, hey, when you're putting together your schedule, if you're flying anywhere that doesn't go on Southwest, you might as well just drop that game from your ideas list, because we're only flying to where we can get a real cheap ticket or where we can drive. And you've got to manage those costs, because you don't have that guaranteed TV buck that's going to come in and save you every year if you don't sell your tickets. We've got to be more focused on, fan development and, just customer service.
Mike Waddell, we appreciate the time and the phone call. Hopefully you can get settled in. You guys, I don't want to say you were fortunate or lucky, but Mike Minner first applied for the Charlotte job, and they wanted somebody with a little more experience. And I think Mike and Campbell were the ones that came out of the winner. Nothing against my friend Brad, but Mike's been able to build a real program there, and I think he's done a great job. Hopefully we can talk with you again in the fall and kind of get some updates on that side of it as well.
I'd love to do that, and I appreciate you guys. And I tell you, Juju Phillips has meant a lot to me in my life. I chose my college number because I wanted to be like number 19 from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. If I could, and I remember almost every interaction I've had with Juju Phillips. I mean, I think your phone number used to end in 0888, did it not?
Yes, it did, Mike. That's a long time ago. You got a great memory. Absolutely.
Oh, man, you're world class. I appreciate you, and go Red Devils. Go Red Devils always.
Absolutely, Mike. God bless you, man. Thanks for joining us.
Take care now.
Thanks, Mike. Good
guy.
Yeah, super nice guy. I didn't realize he'd only been there for 5 days. Or 5 weeks, I mean.
5 weeks,
5
yeah.
weeks. You've got some on this day?
I do have a few.
I want to do that before we get out of here.
Let me do a couple of football that started. I thought this was interesting. Start first with football. 1920.
Mm-hmm.
The American Professional Football Association, the precursor to the NFL, formed on this day. And guess who the president was? Jim Thorpe.
Really?
Yeah, he was the first president. Later became part of the NFL. The NFL was actually born on this day in 1922 in Canton, Ohio. 12 teams, each paid $100 to join the league of the National Football League.
Went all out, didn't it?
Yes, they did. 1933, the NFL changed the hash marks. They moved them in 10 yards. I don't know where they were before, but they moved them in 10 yards, and they put the goalpost on the goal line for the first time, 1933. So this must be the time of the year where they were making changes for the upcoming year.
Owners meeting.
Yeah, owners meetings. 1939, the first night baseball game was played. Pittsburgh beat the Philadelphia Phillies 5-2. 1975, California Angels. Nolan Ryan threw his fourth no-hitter of his career. He beat the Baltimore Orioles 4-0. And in baseball, in 1989, the Toronto Sky Dome opened for the very first time.
Okay.
It's called the Rogers Center now. It's a cable company up there.
I'm going to give you one just kind of in honor of Memorial Day that we had this week.
Yeah.
1917, Boston Braves first baseman Hank Gowdy is the first active MLB player to enlist for service in World War I. That's not the big story. The big story is he's the only player to fight in both World War I and World War II.
There you
in
go.
Major League Baseball. Yep. So
Ted Williams did World War II and Korea.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Then I can't remember his nickname. Lou Gehrig.
The Iron Horse.
The Iron Horse. Future New York Yankee Hall of Famer Lou Gehrig in 1925 pinch hits for shortstop Pee Wee Wanning in a 5-3 loss to Washington for the first of his 2,130 consecutive games.
Why did so many people have nicknames back in the day?
Well, my wife aggravates me all the time because most of my kids that played for me had nicknames.
Yeah.
She said, "Why don't you call people by their real name?" I'm like, "That's not what I do." I mean,
easy to remember nicknames.
Yeah. I mean, you would be marked with it. That's just the way that worked. But anyway, thanks for being here this morning. Glad you guys could hang out with us for a little bit. How to wrap it up, we'll do it all again tomorrow for the Thursday edition. Richie said Mac will tell you he got complacent at Texas. It's all on him then if he got complacent at Texas. All right, have a great day. Try to stay cool. Good luck with that. I've got to go out and run around in the heat for a while. I am not happy about that. See you tomorrow.